They are not ready for prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time. That's the name.
Prime time.
Prime time.
What time is it? Showtime prime time.
It's XL Prime Time, featuring Joe C.
I reduced my toilet paper down to 3 squares.
Matt Hayes.
Big asses and big thighs, yeah.
And Leon Searcy.
Bringing you love, peace, and soul.
How you like me now?
Oh, yeah. Champions they are, the UConn Huskies. Dominant performance last night. We've got them and the rest of your sporting life to compare them to as we welcome you into a Beaver Chevy Beaver Toyota Tuesday. It's a beautiful day, and we are looking back at that championship performance from the UConn Huskies last night, and we'll set up our X poll and just a way for you guys to jump in and start thinking of some of the great back-to-back champions you've seen in your sporting life. So welcome in Beaver Toyota, Beaver Chevy. They bring you today's show. I'll be bragging on them. As a matter of fact, I got to showcase a couple of guys that took care of me over the last week that I totally appreciate. That's for sure. But speaking of guys that we totally appreciate, Coach Campo's in the house with us today. So we're ready to rock and roll.
Nice.
We've got our YouTube set up. You can go search 1010XL on YouTube. You can throw some comments in there. And, of course, you can go to the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures at 641-1010. I think I saw an unbelievable performance last night. And, Leon, in the middle of the game, or maybe towards the end of the game, you shoot the show text out, hey, best back-to-back champs you've ever seen in your sporting life. But before we do that, let's look at that greatness that we saw last night. That was impressive.
Well, it was a hell of an accomplishment. I mean, to win a championship and then to inspire a team to I'm going to tell you the one thing that I have Coach Campo here, which is phenomenal, is that the one thing that Jimmy was always good at is that no matter how much success you had, he always made you feel that there was something out there more. That's how he kept you motivated. That's how he did. That's why how you never became complacent when we played at Miami. So the fact that they won a championship, and then they could come back and win it again, to be inspired to win it again, man. My hats go off to the coaching staff and the players for the resilience, because it's not easy. It's not easy. You're talking about they got to go through what? How many games they play in the regular season? 33, 34 games in the regular season. Then they got to play in the tournament, and then you got to get into the Final Four. Then you got to win the championship. I mean, that's a hell of a task for any team to take. And to win back-to-back is a hell of an accomplishment.
And, Coach, first thing you said was they won back-to-back with two totally different teams.
Yeah, well, my feeling is, and I can appreciate exactly what Leon's talking about, Jimmy never made us feel comfortable as a coaching staff or as players. Right. It was always something more out there. The great thing is, I was in a back-to-back with the Cowboys in 92 and 93, and I know how difficult that is on any level to do that because of what Leon just said. And I think it's even more difficult on the college level when you have a complete roster change like UConn did, from one year to the next, 5 different starters. I mean, that's unbelievable.
It really is.
You look at their 2 leading scorers, Tristan Newton and Cam Spencer, both of them transfer guys. DR's a transfer guy. You've got 3 of their 7 rotation guys that transferred. If you don't believe in the transfer portal and NIL right now, you are just so far behind the game. And I mean in any sport, and it's not just football and basketball; it's any sport right now. That's how you build a team right now. And I know there are a lot of coaches that hate that because it wrecks quote unquote team continuity and the way you build things, and it goes against everything they've been taught and believed since they were young coaches. But this is it now. This is where we are right now in college sports. And if you don't embrace the transfer portal, if you don't embrace NIL, you're doing not only yourself a disservice, but more importantly, you're doing your team and your university a disservice.
Yeah, and you've got it's whatever get with the times slogan you want to use. It's a different world. We mentioned what Hugh Freeze, coach of Auburn, said yesterday, or actually said it in an interview. We brought it up yesterday with Denny Thompson, that I just want to know what year to year what my roster is, and I want structure, and I want to all those things. There's a lot of things you can wish for that just ain't going to happen anymore. So you've got to – it's the classic adapt and adjust is what it is.
Well, here's the thing. Even before the transfer portal came out, when I was at Miami, Jimmy would always tell us that I'll never feel comfortable because we're recruiting guys to replace you. You know what I'm saying? So competition is always the key. I mean, the transfer portal can build and assemble a team a lot faster. but you still want to create an environment where no one's comfortable, no one's
Right.
complacent, and everybody's competing. If you got everybody competing, and that right there is what your team needs if they want to aspire to greatness.
I get all of that, and I understand what you're saying. But,
Yeah.
but what Jimmy said then was, we're recruiting over you right now. They're going to bring a freshman in, and unless that freshman is rare, he's not playing.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's, I'm going to bring a 50-year senior in over you, and this guy's played X amount of games in college basketball or college football. He's playing right now, and you're sitting right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happens is, you lose the guy who all of a sudden is sitting. He goes somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who's a fifth-year senior blows his knee out. He's out, and then you're short at that position. So that's their argument, and I understand all of that. But guess what? That's the reality now of roster management. There's nothing you can do about it.
I do believe, though, it's a little easier in basketball to be able to do that than it is in football.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're talking about 5 guys, and in a lot of cases,
Right.
for example, if in the game last night, if Edey wasn't shut down, that would have been a tough ball game, because all it takes sometimes is one guy or 2 guys to make the difference. Whereas in football, obviously, I'm not saying anything everybody doesn't know. You got 22 guys out there, plus in most cases you got 53 guys, because they're all going to play.
Yeah.
And if somebody makes a mistake or somebody doesn't do what they're supposed to do, you're going to lose a football game. Very simple.
By the way, you know what I love? And I'm not just saying this to you. This is everybody out there right now. Edey had 37 and 10 last night.
I know it.
37 and 10.
Okay, here's the other
and
part
people
of
are
it,
saying, what happened to him?
Yeah. And look, he played a pretty solid game,
Yeah.
but this is how I was looking at it with Mark Wise yesterday, is the off-ball defenders, the guys that will just rattle him a little bit, that have quicker hands. I mean, this guy is a huge human being. And Klingon, I like to call him, was giving up 2 inches to him, got called for an early foul, and they were trying to figure out the best way to manage him. But the problem is, it is as simple as it gets. No one else did a damn thing.
They shot 1 of 7.
1 of 7 from
That
the
is
threes.
it.
Him
No
and Smith
one
were the only 2
else-
guys in double figures.
Remember when we were saying
It's
they're going to need at
ridiculous.
least 10 or 12 threes? They had 1.
Well, they didn't even take any for a long period
Right.
of time.
That's the
in
whole thing
game.
is if they shoot the ball from the outside well, it's a different game.
It was
but
the
you can't-
size. It was the size
Yeah.
of UConn's front
Well,
guys.
it was that, but it was
the guys
also
that
more than
were
anything.
dodging
It was the way they doubled down
Yeah.
when they crept back every time with the
So
perimeter defenders. That was a problem.
Yeah, here's the saucy nug, okay? Zach Edey, and we all know what you have to do. You got to run as many people at him as possible. You're going to ultimately have to use up fouls. You're going to take him to the free throw line. But if you can do anything to stop him, that's going to be your game plan. And basically they said, we will defend you, but we're not going to overcommit to you. We're going to make other guys make shots, which did not happen. So last night, Edey's teammates shot 9 of 29 from the field and attempted only 5 free throws. That's it.
Saucy Nugs.
Did not get to the free throw line because they didn't draw contact. No one was scared of him.
He was 15 of 25, by the way.
Yeah.
So he's shooting 60%, and they're shooting about 20-something.
Yeah, some of that was mop-up, though.
Yeah.
A lot of his points came in the last when they were down 16 and 18.
Right, but he had a double-double with,
he did.
7, 8
He's
minutes
a
to go
good
in the
player.
game.
I mean, he had a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when we start talking about back-to-back champions, and the first conversation that's going to come up is this is the Huskies now, the way the transfer portal works, the way everything works in college basketball, college sports period, versus the 06-07 Gators that won back-to-back national championships. Now, that was a great basketball team that didn't change. It virtually stayed intact. Coach, players, starters, everything basically stayed intact. This one, like we have all said, complete and total. One set of guys leave, another set of guys walk in, and they got to go claim it again. Which one's tougher? I'm pretty sure most people would say the way they're doing it now is tougher. But how about keeping guys that were worthy of turning pro after winning that first championship and getting them to come back?
The guys that wanted to run it back.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys that were playing on that first championship team could have went pro. Well, they got drafted, came on back and won another one. And listen, y'all developed those guys. Wasn't no transfer portal back then.
Yeah.
So y'all are more authentic. I can't believe I'm saying this, but yeah.
Well, it's also like I don't think we're being provincial here. I think it's that Florida team would have beat this UConn team by 15, 20 points. And the Duke team in 91-92 would have probably beat them by worse.
All right, so
I mean, I think it's impressive what they've done. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Especially in this day and age when you've got to reinvent yourself every year. It's absolutely impressive. But for us to start saying that they're better than Florida and better than Duke and better than those UCLA teams that won 7 in a row, I mean, come on.
like usually recency bias takes over and we say whatever we see
Versus
now
the
is
moment,
definitely
right.
better. But there were lottery picks through the Joe Kims, the Horfords, the Brewers, and then let's not forget Lee Humphrey and what he was able to do every single time he lifted from the outside. Cam Spencer, while great, Lee Humphrey was money over and over and over. Now, I know most Gator fans are going to say, hell yeah, Gators would beat them. But if you have another argument, you can hit us with it, 641-1010. Hit the text line and give
Who
us
on
an
that
idea.
team's going to be a lottery pick?
Yeah.
Maybe Castle? Maybe?
Yeah, and Castle's a really good player, but he put himself in a tough spot last night foul-wise and really couldn't get going. I love Tristan Newton. Love that guy.
He's good.
He's so fun to watch.
He's a
And-
D-League guy,
yeah.
man. He
Yeah.
is.
But see, the way the game is played is a little bit different, and I do think that you have to give these guys credit in today's world. Everything's been watered down a little bit with our college basketball product versus those guys.
I don't know, but you can tell.
came
Rare,
back.
rare. You always say rare is rare.
Yeah.
In the NBA especially, Leon and I were talking about this in the pre-show meeting. You go to the NBA draft, and it's usually like the first 12, 15 picks. You're like, all right. And then after that, it's like, who cares?
It falls off in a hurry.
And, I mean,
It's
in
over
a
a cliff.
hurry, it falls off.
Yeah.
And that's where Newton's going to be.
Well,
Newton's
hasn't
going to
the
be
game-
in that level.
Hasn't the game changed to the point now where it's a guard-oriented game?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In other
yeah.
words, to where if you don't perform out front with the threes and the drives on the basket
Yeah.
and kick-outs and all that, you're not going to
That's
win.
why
you still-
Klingon's not going to play in the league. And
Well,
Edey's
yeah,
not
he's
going to
not
play
gonna
in the league.
either.
Yeah.
He's definitely going to play in the league because you have fours that can run. He can move, okay? Let's just not dismiss that cat. He can move, okay?
I like Klingon.
You mean
What's
Klingon?
up?
You're talking about Klingon,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Klingon.
Not
Yes.
Edey.
No,
'Cause,
not Edey.
Yeah, he's outdated.
I think they'll both get drafted. I'm not saying they're
Yeah.
not going to get drafted, but it's just I don't
Klingon
see either
will
one
play
of them.
and make plays in the league.
Yeah, I don't know about
Do you think
that.
Zach Edey will be successful in the league?
No, I think he's going to go play in Europe somewhere or
Yeah.
Asia.
Yeah. That's where, honestly.
I think that's what Klingon will end up doing too.
I think he's good enough because he's got the body that can run and he can move. He can step away from the basket. He's not hitting a bunch of threes from outside.
He's not shooting the ball either, though. He can run.
I think if we've witnessed anything, as much as you watch the NBA, they will take a guy and they will, if they have the skill set, the body type. You can even take Kemba Walker as an example with UConn. Not a great shooter when he left college basketball. They turned him into a great shooter. They can turn some of those even big men into better shooters.
Right, but he could
stepping
get his
away
own
from the basket.
shot. He could get his own shot.
Yeah.
Klingon is not going to get his own shot. It's not going to happen.
All right, I love the bet. We got a long bet.
All right.
Yeah, and look, he doesn't have to average a lot, but I just think he'll make a good living in the association. I really do.
Great living in Asia somewhere.
All right, so let's throw out the idea. Like last night, they took care of business, and they beat out Purdue to win their 6th title in 25 years. That's rare air, man. And you want to start talking about the greats that we've seen in the 21st century? And think about this. I saw the stat. They've won more titles in the last 25 years than Kentucky's won in 70. Now, Kentucky is a blue blood, as they say. And if we don't recognize what UConn's doing, especially with the departure of the great Jim Calhoun, and then you go to the other coaches that have won there, Kevin Ollie, on to Dan Hurley, they're the first to repeat since 07. They went 12-0 against the spread in this run that they were on, set a record for tournament point differential, and you might throw them up there, Coach, just baking them out this year and basically forming this team, one of the best teams UConn's ever produced.
Yeah.
Honestly.
There's no question that it's very difficult to do what they did, and you have to give them credit for that. And really, you very seldom hear UConn when you talk about blue bloods in basketball in the college world, but they should be considered one of those teams.
Well, right now I could be a prisoner of the moment, but right now I would put them right behind UCLA. I would put them in front of North Carolina and Duke. They just passed Duke, by the way.
Yeah.
Duke has 5.
Yeah.
Right? So they passed Duke. So, I mean, they're at 6, and they won 6 in 25 years.
Well, they
Hey,
have.
if you guys, we're all talking about 6 and 25 years. Let me just throw this out there just to shock you a little bit.
I know you're going UCLA, aren't you? Go ahead.
No, Alabama won 6 in 12 years.
Yeah.
Football titles in 12 years.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah, that's
Now
special.
we're talking about dynasties and
Yeah,
best ever.
absolutely.
6 in 12 years in college football.
Yeah. Now, I would argue that the way we're seeing it now, the transfer portal, if you throw Nick in that great run that he had, would he be able to win 6 in 12 years in today's college football because of how much has dramatically changed?
Well, as it
He's
started
already
getting
answered the
hot,
question.
Yeah, you already answered the question.
That's the
'cause
question.
as
He
it-
bounced on us.
Yeah. Not only that, his last one was in 2020.
Yeah.
And then the portal started heating up.
Right.
And then
So it would be
3 in a row.
The great equalizer.
nearly
NIL
impossible.
and portal.
So the
three-pointer in
Huskies
basketball.
So the Huskies now have more titles than Indiana and Duke. Okay, so you could throw Indiana in that conversation because they were one of the teams in the Big Ten that made it to the title game but did not win, and then 3 more than anyone else since 1999. That's pretty good when you start to think about it. Honestly, it is something else. All right, let's do that right now.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
It is now official. John Calipari is no longer the coach at Kentucky. He has stepped down.
So step down, but
Going-
not stepped in to Pig Suey land.
Not
just yet.
officially, but that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
he will
Okay.
go
So
to-
he stepped down, and
He will go to Arkansas, and then Kentucky's looking for a head coach, and it's this is a big hire for Mitch Barnhart. Mitch Barnhart's probably going to retire in a year or two, would be my guess. So he's going to hire somebody that he hopes will be embraced by the community, but will also not be a headache for him for a couple years. And my best guess is going to be like Mark Pope, the former Kentucky player who's at BYU.
okay, so you're not going to go the Nate Oates.
No, Nate Oates already said
pluck
no.
him out of.
Nate Oates said no.
Yeah, I'm just
Hurley
saying.
said no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Hurley said no, and I appreciate the fact that he did say no right away. But let's make this the 10-10 take, okay? Because these individuals from time to time do not tell the truth.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 tape. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmaster since 68.
So they've got those recipes, and every single day they say, you know what, we're putting that wood on, we're going to get that flame going, and then we're going to cook you some great barbecue where you can come in and enjoy it. So you can trust them that they're going to serve up delicious pork, beef, turkey, ribs with all those tremendous sides. Whatever you want, make sure you head on to any one of your area Sonny's. So coaches, they tell fibs from time to time. And when Dan Hurley said no, I tend to agree and believe because he looks like he is cut for Connecticut, and that's all great and good. But Jimmy Harbaugh won a natty, and we knew before he ever got to the natty that he wasn't going to be around after the natty. So could you imagine a world where you have 2 of your biggest championships, 2 of your biggest sports championships in college sports, and both coaches walk away from national championship winning teams? It's possible. It's possible. Jimmy Harbaugh's done it. He's back in the NFL, and it's not impossible to think that Dan Hurley couldn't still do it and go to Kentucky. That's the 10-10 take. I tend to agree, Matt, that he probably won't. But just imagine if 2 trophy-hoisting teams lost their coaches afterwards. That'd be something
It'd be
else.
all kinds of funky, but I'd almost bet anything that he's not going anywhere.
No, I like I
Hurley's
said,
not
I tend to
going anywhere.
agree. It's still one of those things when I remember presenting the topic on XL Primetime. Can you imagine if Jim Harbaugh and Nick Saban step away? And this was before Saban stepped away. And we're like, no, that
it's
ain't
not
happening.
gonna happen.
And then it happened. And so you never, ever know. And all the other guys that we use as examples, when they depart from one place that you never expected.
No, that's three mega names in college sports.
Yeah.
That are now no longer with their former
Well,
teams.
sometimes you say no for the other guys to say yes.
Yeah.
You know, if you say no a couple times, that just spurs somebody else to say yes.
And by the way, if we're doing some quick math, how many and how much has been made off the idea that someone might be going to Kentucky? In other words, how many
Absolutely.
coaches got extensions, and what does it add up to? How many and how much? I got to believe everyone got another year and maybe $1 million bump or
How
whatever.
much does Sark get?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, same
You
thing
can,
happened
You
in
can do
college.
that. How much? You can. How much? Everybody that was associated with the Alabama job. how much
Norvell,
they-
Norvell.
Sarkeesian,
Yeah.
on and on. And so, yeah, and I don't know whether Dabo got an extension or not, but you figure he was one of the ones that was linked to it as well. But that's what happens.
Although Norvell probably deserved that anyway.
Yeah, he
because,
did. Yeah,
I
he
mean,
probably had it coming. He probably had it coming. All right, RJ, give us the X poll just so they can give us an idea of who they're thinking of and how they can make a suggestion, all right?
Absolutely. Our poll question of the day brought to you by Beaver Chevrolet, Beaver Toyota. Who are some of the best back-to-back champions that you've seen from your sporting life? That is up now on X at 1010XL.
Yeah, so all you got to do is hit a reply. Give us one that you've got. Leon, your suggestion is as far as the best back-to-back champions that you've seen in your sporting life?
Showtime. Lakers.
The Lakers?
Absolutely. 86,
You
87
love your
Lakers.
Showtime,
I love
man.
absolutely.
They were great.
Magic Johnson, hey, listen, he converted me early on.
Magic, Kareem, you can go down the line, man. They were great.
Yeah, especially in now as far as football goes, the best back-to-back is probably Coach Campo's Cowboys in 1993.
You going to put them up there, Coach?
Oh,
Well, I tell you what, I would go with them, but I think he's being kind because the Steelers.
I played them both. I played y'all. I know. That's all personal experience.
Yeah. Well, listen, I know how difficult it is, and two of the games that we won were against the Buffalo Bills, who went to the Super Bowl 4 times,
Right.
and didn't win any of them.
Right.
And I know how difficult that is. So it was good. It was good.
Explain the idea of complacency and how it's so difficult to keep guys on edge. You've already won one. They've already felt what it's like to win one. How do you avoid complacency as a coach?
I think you just push guys all the time to so that they understand that they're accountable to everything, and it has nothing to do with what you did last year. Has nothing to do with what you do this year. As a matter of fact, what you do between last year and when you come back for the next year is the most important part, and you have to convince guys.
But it's also you're dealing with the human condition.
Yep.
Which is, that's very, very difficult.
Yep. You have to have the right people, and let me tell you something.
And the right guy pushing, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, the Cowboys have been. You look at the last 30 years, they haven't been back.
Yeah, they haven't done squat.
And a lot of it is based on the fact that everybody starts, everything is first class, and all of a sudden, you think you're better than you are, and that's what happens.
I think the great thing about Jimmy when I was at Miami is that Jimmy was a guy, he cared about the present moment, not the past, not in the future. Right. What are you doing right now to accelerate and be great? How are you helping us now? So, and when I say stay on you, that's an understatement.
That's an understatement.
It's an understatement. I'm talking about mentally and physically.
But you know what I mean,
he
right?
Kept the ground
as a player,
yeah.
You're dealing with the human condition. Like, it's very easy to just say, all right, I know how we got there. I'll just keep doing that, and we'll get there eventually.
Let me tell you about Jimmy Johnson real quick.
All right.
Okay?
This is what I asked for.
We're getting ready for the Super Bowl. We got a 2-week period there. One, we're at home. We're at home for a week. We're getting ready for the first Super Bowl. Dave Wanstead gets an interview to both the Washington Redskins and the Chicago Bears, right? Well, Jimmy gets wind that there's a couple of guys going with him. He calls everybody up in the room. He says, let me tell you something, guys. Any of you feel like you're going with Dave Wanstead and not paying attention to what we're doing, walk out right now. I'll coach this game myself, just me alone.
By the way, that's a great story, but Commanders, Coach. You don't want to offend people.
The Commanders. Yeah, but back then it was the Redskins. What are you going to do? All right, so we keep it rolling. Beaver Chevy, Beaver Toyota. I got to give a quick shout-out to Stacy in the body shop department. TLD, she got bumped in the butt with an automobile, ladies and gentlemen. And so she had a little fender bender. And so we got it up there to the Beaver Chevy body shop. Took care of it 100%. So thanks to Stacy, Brett, the Beaver boys. They're always good.
It wasn't
That's
that NASCAR.
Not the NASCAR Camry. It's
no.
Please don't. I don't want anything bad to happen to that one. But we did have one little fender bender, and they took great care of us. They can do the exact same thing for you. BeaverChevrolet.com. Find them on Phillips Highway. BeaverToyotaSt.Augustine.com. Right there in the AUG on US 1. We're going to say hello to the man up at Augusta, Mark Carnival, coming up next on XL Primetime.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
Oh, good morning.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser.
Meow.
Doing their best to make every morning good. Or at least a little better.
Oh, now I see what you're saying.
Mornings on 1010XL.
That's good. That's good fun.
Hey, sports fans, it's Hayes Carline from MyBookie. Oh, it is here.
Masters Week, my favorite Tigers in the field. We've got the Live Golf guys playing in a major again. It is going to be a blast. If you haven't signed up for MyBookie, you need to sign up. This is going to be must-see TV, and you can bet long odds for big golf sweats and even bigger cash. Outright winners, first-round leaders, and live betting too. I'm telling you, if you haven't signed up yet for MyBookie, do it now for Masters Week. Could the weather in Augusta cause some chaos? Take advantage of that. Make some money. Even if the Masters has started, you can live bet with long odds through Sunday afternoon. Getting started is simple. Sign up today at MyBookie and use promo code 1010XL to secure a first deposit bonus up to 50%. It's simple. Just use promo code 1010XL to claim your 50% bonus, $50 minimum. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet have just received a special allocation of new vehicles directly from the factory. Not 10, not 20, but hundreds of new vehicles with special savings that haven't been seen in years. Every new vehicle available in your favorite color and option as far as the eye can see. Plus, get our exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty with every new car purchase. Hurry to Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville before the best deals are gone.
David Lane here again for Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. After several surgeries for age-old issues, mainly my back and shoulders, there's no doubt that Southeast Orthopedic Specialists is my sustaining resource for living pain-free. Take it from me, and I'm being really honest here, there's no better orthopedic facility here in Jacksonville.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
There are so many ways you can catch me, Mia O'Brien.
Helmets and Heels.
Weekdays, noon to 2.
And on 1010XL's video and social channels. All things Mia are driven by Arlington Toyota.
It's Mo Time with Mo Bryan.
On 1010XL.
Ready for a heating and air company that's just as local as your favorite coffee shop? That's Bolt City Heating and Air. Jacksonville grown, family owned and operated, and not bought out by the out-of-town big guys. And with transparent pricing, you'll know the costs up front, with options to choose from, backed by Bolt City's satisfaction guarantee. And rest assured, Bolt City Techs will treat your home with white glove service. You can be comfortable today. Visit BoltCityAC.com.
Now those sound like some well-oiled machines. Hey, Glenn here from B&B Oil. If you have equipment that needs fuel and only want the best for your engines, we've got you covered. From fuel for boats to construction sites with large equipment, we deliver all types of fuel and lubricants. We also have tanks from 250 gallons to 2,000 gallons and larger if you need them. Give me a call and let's talk. Find us online, bb-oil.com.
After a storm passes, the assessment of the aftermath begins. Sometimes damage to the roof is obvious, like leaks or missing shingles, broken or damaged gutters, or tree debris. But storm damage is not always as clearly present. Universal Roofing Contracting is here to help and will come assess your roof for any hidden damage. Call Universal Roof to schedule your free roof inspection at 855-ROOF-HELP or visit universalroof.com. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
So the tee times are out for Augusta as we have Thursday play. Everyone's going to be looking forward to it. We're going to go up to Augusta and say hello to Mark Carnival in just 1 second. But world number one, Scotty Scheffler will play the first 2 rounds alongside Rory McIlroy, Xander Schauffele. 10:42 is their start time. Then you got the defending champion, John Rahm. He is alongside U.S. amateur champion Nick Dunlap, really good player, and Matt Fitzpatrick, former U.S. Open winner, at 10:30 in the morning. You got Hideki, Justin Thomas, Willie Z at 10:18. You got Victor Hovland, Cameron Smith, and Wyndham Clark at 10:54. And let's find out what our man thinks about Tiger Woods when he tees off trying to make his 24th consecutive cut at the Masters.
Let's ring up another guest on the All-Pro Roofing phone line.
Mark Carnival, he has walked the grounds of Augusta many times, including today. Carney, how are you, buddy?
Joe, I'm doing good. I told you I would try, and if my memory served me, they have these phone banks out on the golf course that they're not too close to anything, so they got free calling. So there was a line, so I didn't hang up and call back because I didn't want to lose my place in line. But it was great. It's been a good day up here. It's been fun. Saw a lot of players out there, both on the range, on the practice area, and on the golf course. And golf course, as always, looks spectacular.
Could you picture yourself at that Japanese restaurant like George, just trying to get to the phone booth just so you could make the call and just keep tapping on those shoulders in front of you to try and get them off that phone? Did you do that?
Well, this was actually my third stop.
Oh, okay.
I tried twice. No one answered. So,
so
I give you all one more shot, and this is where we're at.
I love it. I appreciate it for sure. All right, so hit it wherever you want, Mark, and then go find it because you've been walking the grounds. You heard those tee times. Give us an idea of what you've seen and what you're thinking.
Well, I did actually follow Fred Couples, Tiger Woods, and Justin Thomas for about 3 holes, and JT looks good. New caddy on the bag, Matt Minister, longtime caddy for Patrick Cantlay, is now caddying for JT. I think that was probably a pretty good move. Experienced caddy in Matt. And, Tiger's going to be the unknown. We haven't seen him go more than maybe a round and a half in some time. This is not an easy golf course to walk. I know that they had the biggest crowds out there. We were walking out on the golf course, and we knew they were just teed off, and so we'd walked a little bit on the back nine, and then we got down there around the 6th green, and people were lining up, so we watched them come through there, watched them play 6, 7, and 8. That's going to be unknown. JT looks pretty comfortable. Didn't have a great round down at the you can't go anywhere without people recognizing you. A number of people from the tour walking by me, and they found who they needed to find, my better half. But it's going to be interesting. I know you mentioned some names. I think the new caddy with JT is going to be helpful. The other unknown to me are the other than maybe Brooks Koepka off the Live Tour. The other guys are unknown. Is DeChambeau going to show up? Is DJ? But as we saw a year ago, experience and winning on this golf course is important. They could get into the mix, but that's kind of an unknown, and we know Brooks has kind of always been there, so I would expect him to be there. But I think Scotty Scheffler, I think even though he didn't win his last start, he had that runner-up finish in Houston. How can you overlook him? And I think you look at a young guy in Ludwig Oberg. I don't know how you overlook him. I think if there's going to be maybe a rookie or a first-time winner, the first time since Fuzzy Zeller, he could be your guy. I mean, he always finds a way near the top. Now, this is a major championship, and he hasn't played that many and participated in that many, but we know he's not afraid of the spotlight.
Now, Carney, we just finished with the NCAA tournament, and going into the tournament, we call it the Husky Invitational. So with Scheffler, with all the success that he's had over the last couple of months, is it Scheffler against the field, or does he have some viable competition this week?
Well, yeah, I mean, you've always got competition, and I mean, that's one of the unique things, not about just golf, but really about sports. I mean, we know every player that plays at this level is capable, and some guys play higher at that level, like a Scotty Scheffler, like a Rory McIlroy. But there are weeks when you don't have it. If he's on top of his game, it's going to be tough. And based on what we saw in Houston, probably wasn't the cleanest 4 rounds of golf he's had, but he was right there. And he was there the 2 weeks before that and winning at the Arnold Palmer Invitational, and certainly the players. Augusta National is such a unique golf course, and there's such a change in emotions and such a change in the flow based on one shot here. And that can happen anywhere, but certainly here at Augusta, particularly on the second 9 on Sunday. I think if you're a player, you just want to give yourself a chance coming those last 2.5 hours Sunday afternoon. You want to be somewhere on that within a couple shots.
So, Carney, Tiger says, quote, if everything comes together, he thinks he's got one more in him. It's not about ball striking, right? It's about his health. Like he said, I ache all over every day. So it's more than just like the actual golf part of the game, he's got to pick himself up and recover every day, right?
Absolutely, Matt. It's one of these things, and I think that's what's, unless you've been to Augusta National and walked the grounds, you don't realize how challenging a walk it can be. And we last saw Tiger at the Genesis Invitational out at Riviera. Now there are some hilly parts of Riviera, but not other than 18 and 1, not really. Mm-hmm. So he's going to be challenged pretty much on every hole here because there are uneven lies in the fairway. You've got little inclines. Again, that's what I said. When I said earlier, we haven't seen him go past maybe a round and a half in some time, maybe 2 rounds. It's going to be challenging. If there's one place we feel like he could do it, absolutely, where he can rely on experience. But the physical aspect is going to be his challenge. We know how tough mentally he is. And, if the physical side doesn't work, then that can certainly affect the mental side. And we know he wants to compete. We know he wants to still try to win golf tournaments. But I'd say that's a big unknown right now.
We're talking with our golf guru, Mark Carnival. You catch him quite often, PGA Tour Live, Sirius XM PGA Tour Radio. And I say, Tiger said he hurts all over. Get out of the gym, man. I mean, he looks bigger today than he did the last time we saw him. It's crazy. All right, so the live conversation will obviously be hot and heavy this week. So who you putting in there in your pile? How do you think Rahm, Koepka, Neiman, you can name DJ, whomever else might be in the mix once we get to Sunday?
Well, you would think certainly Koepka. I mean, Koepka has proven that he can go play those events and come back and win major championships and compete in major championships. We don't know, Yeah, John, I think he may have won one of the events. I don't know. You don't hear much about it.
Right.
So they're kind of unknowns. I mean, I think DJ may have won an event, but again, it's not really publicized. And because of the way they format theirs, it's hard to say. We know they're talented, and you can't hide that. And at the end of the day, it's still golf, but it's that competitive side of it. And that really is the difference. And John is probably close enough to it. 1 year removed from winning here, mm-hmm. and going through the whole FedEx Cup season, that maybe he won't show any side effects from it. And I don't know. I think there are side effects. I mean, that would be common to me that would be the case. But I mean, certainly you have to look at Cam Smith, and you have to look at DJ, and the surprising one last year obviously was Phil. And I guess Phil shot 80 in the last time, last event he played or something. I don't know. As I said, you don't hear much, but. They'll be there, I think, because they're just talented, and it'll be interesting to see who it is. But I would certainly think those guys could be.
Now, Carney, I want to talk about Roy McIlroy a little bit right now. Is anything about his game? Is he going to finally get the slam? I mean, at the Masters, he's been denied for.
Well, yeah. Well, the longer he goes, Leon, the harder it is.
Yeah.
It's like chasing that Super Bowl ring. The longer you go, the tougher it is.
Mm-hmm.
And Rory, it was a typical week last week for him where it wasn't great starting off, but he played extremely well on the weekend, played very well on Sunday, and, finished, what did he finish, third, I think, by himself? Surprisingly, that was his first top 10 of the year. Now, the year started in January, so it's not as many events for him as we've seen in past years because of the wraparound schedule. But, maybe he's under the radar enough. I doubt it because the media is going to talk about it because he is trying to get that career Grand Slam, and it would be great to see. I think it would be good for the game of golf. Obviously, it would be good for him, and maybe that takes, not that there's any edge to him, but maybe it takes some of that edge off. We know how talented he is, but that's something that, if he doesn't ever accomplish it, it's going to be a little. It'll be a little asterisk in his career that he was never able to get that done.
All right, now I know you got a golf trip the next couple days. We're hopefully going to hear from you on Friday. I'm filling out my pimento cheese pool, young sir. So why don't you just go ahead and give me the winner right now, please?
I'll give you the winner?
Yeah. Come on.
All right, Scotty Scheffler.
I knew he was going to say that.
All right. And why not?
Yeah. I think it would be hard not to go for him. I've seen the other guys, and I would probably put Scotty there. I'd probably put Rory right behind him, and
all right, and then what about a first timer?
First timers, Oberg.
No. Yeah, Oberg. I think I meant a first-time major winner with Xander.
Yeah.
who would you put up there?
Xander, yeah.
I'd put Oberg.
Okay, so you would put him first-time in Augusta, first-time winning. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Because I'm sitting.
I mean, I've seen Xander. I think there's a little stigma there with him too.
Okay. Yeah.
You know.
He played so well at TPC Sawgrass, was so close, and then didn't get it done. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So.
All right, brother man. Thank you very much. Enjoy the walk.
Yep.
Love that you're up there, and then we will try and coordinate, and we will say hello to you on Friday once we get a picture of that leaderboard.
You got it, my friends.
All right,
guys,
buddy.
take care. Always
Thanks,
good
man.
to talk to you.
All right.
Thanks, Mark Carnival from Augusta.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
So this is the transfer portal in a nutshell, okay? Indiana State got hosed at the NCAA tournament. Didn't get an invitation. Should have been invited. Just a ridiculous notion that they weren't worthy, okay? Every player from that team now is in the portal.
Mm-hmm. Well,
including your hero.
Yeah, the only one
Kareem
I care about
Abdul-Jabbar.
is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Okay, Robbie Avila. He is the best. Okay, and so he's out there. He's available. Todd Golden, call Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Every starter.
Every single one of them?
In the portal.
That is wild. All right, we'll keep it rolling. One more seg with Coach Campo. We get to the draft with him. He's here to talk Jaguar football and who they're going to take 17 and beyond.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealers Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers. There are many ways to experience 1010XL.
The key to this whole thing is their computer.
Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
Get me that computer program. Yes, sir.
At 1010XL.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Spring is in full bloom, and that means your to-do list just got longer. But don't stress, everyone. Good folks at Fenwick Home Services have you covered 24/7 with cooling and plumbing solutions to fit any budget. From minor upgrades to major repairs, whatever problem you're staring down, the pros of Fenwick get it done and get it done right the first time. Let me say that again, the first time. Spring's also a great time to schedule your AC tune-up to avoid costly breakdowns. Fenwick's certified technicians will inspect your system to make sure it runs efficiently and remove dust, buildup, pollen, and dander so you can breathe easier. Book now, FenwickHomeservices.com/radio. That's FenwickHomeservices.com/radio.
When it comes to towing products, your safety on the road is the priority at Cannons of Jacksonville. Whether it's a heavy-duty tow hitch, trailer frame, wiring, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons has decades of experience to ensure your towing setup is installed with precision and reliability. Visit cannonsofjacks.com to explore a range of products and schedule your installation. Cannons of Jacksonville, your trusted partner for a smoother tow.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball presented by FIS is home this week at 1-to-1 Financial Ballpark. Tonight is 70s night, followed by a new day game on ViStar Good is Everywhere Wednesday. The weekend starts with Coors Light Thirsty Thursday. Enjoy fireworks Friday and Saturday. Baseball all weekend with tickets starting at just $5. Log on to jackshrimp.com for tickets. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball. Affordable, family fun.
Clearwater. John, I can't even mow my side yard. It's so soggy. Man, my builder sucks.
Brent, calm down. This is a common problem in neighborhoods where houses are built too close together. You need gutters and a properly installed French drain that will soak up subsurface water. We can completely dry it up.
So I can take my builder off my speed dial now, huh?
Yeah, we got you, buddy. Let that builder bitterness go.
Clearwater irrigation
and drainage too.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. Clayton, let's talk about diamond cutting. How is a diamond price affected by the way it is cut?
Frank, that's probably the most important question asked about diamonds, because the trade-off between a diamond cut for maximum beauty and one that's not is the diamond's carat weight. You see, diamond cutters buy rough diamonds based on quality and weight. So as they cut the rough diamond, everything cut away affects profits. However, there's specific known cutting parameters, and each deviation from these means they have a heavier, less beautiful diamond. Unfortunately, a customer can't detect all those cutting imperfections. They need expert help about a diamond's cut grade. You see, for any round diamond of a particular color, clarity, and carat weight, there are as many as 10 different prices that can vary by as much as 50%. At Underwoods, we look specifically at how a diamond's cut before we look at anything else, because it's the most important factor when it comes to a diamond's beauty, and to us, whether it should carry the Underwood name or not.
At the First Coast YMCA, you'll find much more than just a gym. We offer many ways to help you be active, reach weight loss goals, and find your inner strength while you connect with your community. Family memberships at the Y include unlimited group exercise classes, childcare while you work out, and youth sports participation. It's easy to join the Y and affordable for all. Plus, the Y is a great place to meet a new circle of friends. Visit the Y near you or online at fcymca.org.
Best Bet is number one. That's right. Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine have one-card poker, the fastest and easiest card game to learn and play. Play one card at a time, and the highest card wins even money. If the card values are the same, it's time for war. Just like the game you remember. You must be 18 years or older to play. More at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Mia here with a shout out to all property owners looking to spruce up your spaces for the spring. Window Gang's exterior cleaning services will remove stubborn stains, restore windows to a crystal clear shine, and ensure your gutters flow freely. Whether you own a home or business, Window Gang will transform your outdoor space. Call 262-7300 for a free estimate. Don't wait. Let Window Gang bring the sparkle back to your property today. That's 262-7300.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On April 9, 1950, during the 14th U.S. Masters Tournament, Jimmy Demaret becomes the first three-time Masters champion, finishing 2 strokes ahead of Jim Ferrier.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about not being afraid of the crosses of life. Life can be difficult. Maybe today you're carrying a cross of worry or stress. Let me encourage you to remember that when Christ got on the big cross at Golgotha, he destroyed all the little crosses that we face in our life. He set us free from fear, worry, and anxiety. Our job is not to be carried by the cross, but to be carried by our faith.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
This is Hayes Carline for QC Kinetics. The future of medicine is here at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. If you're tired of achy joints, if your joint pain is keeping you from doing what you love, you need to call QC Kinetics now. They've got 2 great locations. Call for a free consultation at 904-274-5522. That's 904-274-5522. And go see them, Mandarin and Ponte Vedra. You can get in. They've got availability. You need to give them a call. Stop dealing with pain in your hips and your shoulders and your knees. Steroids, surgery, drugs, these are no longer your best options. Regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics is transforming lives with innovative treatments that deliver lasting results. Give QC Kinetics a call today. Again, 904-274-5522. Go see them in Mandarin and Ponte Vedra. That's QC Kinetics.
Electricians, innovators, and tech enthusiasts, listen up. Miller Electric is shaping the future, and we want you to be a part of it. From healthcare and data centers, corporate offices, aviation, and industrial facilities, Miller Electric is powering the most exciting projects in Jacksonville and beyond. We offer not just a job, but a thrilling career with great pay and incredible benefits. Visit us at millercareers.com to apply. Miller Electric, where your skills meet our vision, an equal opportunity employer.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
It's good. I mean, you look at the top of the draft, obviously it's really good. And there's always some guys you can find, in the middle part of the draft, too, that can come in and help you and probably aid more on special teams a little bit, Of course, we'll see how the new hybrid kickoff rule goes, later today. But, it's a good receiver class this year.
So that was Doug Peterson at the NFL owners meetings talking about just the depth of the wide receiver class. And, yeah, there's guys that could fall in the second round Matter of fact, Coach Campo and I were doing our Campo and Joe podcast, and we were looking at draft grades. And I'm looking at you first, Leon, because I can see Coach over there going through those papers right now. But
just like back in the day, huh?
yeah, he's got the analysis. But we were looking at this pack of receivers, and I'm gonna let Coach set this up. But they had a high draft grade. Okay, let's just call it mid-first round, high draft grade. Then you go to that next pick, the second round, and they're around, what do they pick, 48? And there's 3 or 4 other guys that have not as good a grade. There's 3 or 4 of them, the Adonai Mitchells of the world, the Xavier Worthies, the Roman Wilsons of the world. Are you willing to wait to get a wide receiver based on what Doug Peterson just said, that there's a deep enough group?
Am I willing to wait?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm of the notion that, I had a knee-jerk reaction when the Texans went and got your boy Diggs, right? So I was in a conundrum. Do I get Trevor another weapon, or do I get something to stop it?
You initially overreacted.
I did initially overreact, absolutely overreacted.
All the dudes overreact.
Yeah, so I'm of the notion that you give Trevor another weapon. Points,
Yeah.
I know people say defense win championships. No, points win championships. No offense, Coach.
Yeah. But Coach is on the offensive side when it comes to this, are you not?
Yes.
Yeah, but I'm going to ask, okay, that's great. I'm going to ask all 3 of you now. Where are you going to play him?
Let's say
you draft a guy at 17, a wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Who's sitting in your 3 wide receiver set?
You paid Gabe. You've got Zay. You've got Kirk.
Who are you sitting?
Coach, we've asked this question about a multiple number of positions.
I would say, here's the conundrum.
Now wait. Zay is healthy, completely healthy.
Yeah, the conundrum is this. First of all, the guy that we could probably get at that spot may not be one of those guys that can just step in and go. For example, Thomas, you could say whatever you want about him. He's a deep guy. He's a 2-trick pony. He can go deep, and he can jump and catch the ball.
Yeah.
That's it. He doesn't run great routes. He's got to develop to be a good player. So you go with the guys that are going to help you this year, and then you go from there.
Wait, are you trying to tell me that you go with need then? Is that what you're trying to say?
No,
need at 17? Because right there it sounds like you're saying, well, he's not going to be a starter. All that. They need somebody who's going to day one be a starter.
That's what I'm saying. My point is.
So Brian Thomas is not going to be, you're saying?
I don't think so. I don't think that he will be picked, personally.
Okay, so that goes back to my original question. So all 3 of those guys are completely healthy, okay?
Yeah.
Let's say Gabe Davis, Christian Kirk, and Zay Jones completely healthy. Where's this 17th pick going to play at wide receiver?
Yeah, I think they would let Zay go if they took a wide receiver.
Yeah, they might do
that.
that.
That's my personal opinion.
All right.
They might do that. There might be a trade. If they go get a lineman, they may trade Cam Robinson, and he still may not be a day one starter.
You're letting go of a guy who is a very productive guy when healthy.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that right now.
Totally dig it. But you know what else? It's 10, close to $11 million off the cap, and you do have to keep preparing yourself for that next round of spending. And look, I believe, look at this team right now as it can still take on a starter. It is not by any stretch built solid. Like, if they take a cornerback, that dude has every potential of beating Ronald Darby out for a starting position.
Oh, I would think he's going to.
Yeah, exactly.
Not a question.
Every opportunity. So that one you're going to – all right, cornerback, you're drafting what looks like a starter. Rush in, you're not. Offensive lineman, you may not. Wide receiver, probably not, right?
Yes. And I would say that for a guy like Thomas, if they think he's a number 1 going forward, then you take him. Because he helps you score points, and you move on from somebody to make sure he has an opportunity to help.
Okay, so hang on. So you're telling me if Fatano's there at 17 and you take him, he's not going to start? 100% he will start at left guard. 100%.
He would start interiorly. He wouldn't start at maybe the eventual
But he's going to start.
Yeah.
He's going to start day one.
I would think, Leon, you answer. Brandon Sheriff, Ezra Cleveland, either one of those guys – one of them is looked at as maybe a little bit long in tooth and maybe a little more injuries that he had to deal with last year.
If we take an offensive lineman at 17, more than likely one of those 2 guys is going to be a casualty.
We're sliding right back into guard.
I'm just saying.
I can feel it.
Because I want somebody that you put in place, and you turn your head and you're like, okay, he's good for 10 years. 10 years,
he's good. Right.
That's right.
Exactly. It's like, you know what it's like? You know when you was a little kid, like you had to build a fort You know how you build a 4? This is what we're building for Trevor. A nice little 4. All right?
He
A
needs
nice
it,
little
man.
4,
Hey,
absolutely.
Help the guys that are going to
Yes.
score your points, and one of them is protecting
Yes.
Trevor Lawrence. I'm still on the big
I
man.
love how you guys are all
I don't
coming
think they're
around
going
to
to
me
take
now.
one, but I think I'm still for the big man.
And, Coach, if you give him, honestly, a half to three-quarter extra second
Absolutely.
of time.
It's a
We're
game
talking-
changer.
Yeah, we're
Yes.
talking about just the smallest amount, just a little extra time to make the
Coach,
throw
remember that time with the Cowboys? I don't know. It might have been, about 6, 7, 8 years ago. There was a issue. There was Johnny Manziel that was in the draft. Remember that? Johnny
Yes.
Manziel was in the draft, and everybody's like, Cowboys need to take Johnny Manziel.
right.
And they took Zach Martin.
Yeah.
And the fan base was like, what? What are they doing? Are they crazy?
Yeah.
That's the type of pick I'm looking for the Jaguars to make.
that's
Something
me
that's
too.
unpopular. The fans don't have any idea, but you plug and play for the next 10 years, turn your back, he's a perennial All-Pro.
You're at the pulpit right now. You know that.
I know. I'm preaching to the choir.
Yeah,
Preaching to the choir.
I'm in the choir.
Right.
I'm the tenor. You're the bass.
Exactly.
because
I
honestly,
called you up to the podium.
You
as a matter
did. You
of fact.
did.
I
You
said,
actually
Leon,
did.
you're up.
You did.
You've got to find these guys that will give you the best chance. All right, so, Coach, before you head out,
Yep.
so, and I don't know that we've changed the priority. It has a lot to do with who falls in that area. So let's just go back real quick to the conversation we had on the podcast and just kind of give the XLPers a little bit of a feel for this. If you do have a similar grade, a defensive tackle, a rush in, a corner, a wide receiver, a lineman, how do you make your decision?
Well, first of all, the decision is made when they're all in a bunch, and you feel like you've got 5 or 6 guys at your position. Then the decision is, do I back up? If I can back up 2 or 3 spots, then one of those 5 is going to be there unless somebody comes back and jumps me again, which you never know. But you take a gamble to get a couple of more picks. We lost a pick with Ridley. You'd like to get one back if you could. So if it's in a bunch like that,
True.
you can do that. If you can't do that, you have to have somebody that wants to tango with you to dance. If you can't do that, then what you have to do is you have to look at who's there. And first of all, in my opinion, if it's even, then you take the guy that can score points. That's my opinion. Or you make the decision, I'm going with need of the bunch, because I think that we're close enough that if we can get one more guy, that we have a chance to go forward. I had to laugh. I'm losing my mind, but I probably shouldn't even bring it up. But we took, what's the announcer from Ohio State, the receiver that came with the Cowboys? He's from Ohio State. He's a college.
Galloway?
Oh,
Galloway.
Joey Galloway. Right.
We gave up 2 number 1s to get Galloway. He
That's right.
played 3/4 of the first football game, blew his knee,
out.
was done. He
Right.
ended up going
Gone.
to Tampa Bay.
That's right.
So it really, in all honesty, you got to be really careful with what you do. You gotta make sure that you're making the right.
That's
pick.
I will say this, though.
That's the better be lucky than good line
Absolutely.
right
It is,
there.
but here's another thing, too, Joe. I just have a feeling like if they trade back, this city will be just furious.
You know what? I don't
Furious.
agree with that because I feel like if they get what they want, then they'll be happy. If they trade back and just going under coach's example, you drop 3 spots with 5 guys that you want all 5, they're all graded in the same area. You're playing the percentages. You move 3, you got 5 to choose from. 2 of them come off the board. Now you got 1 out of 3 that you get to choose from. If you can do something like that, that isn't bad.
You should not have 5 guys that are all graded the same. Am I not right about that?
There are 5 guys. I can name 5 guys that I would take.
I'll show you
So
right
They're
now.
all graded the same?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know where they're graded. I'm just talking about, in my mind, I would take any of these 5 guys. They may have them graded.
You know that I could
completely
sit
different.
down with you, and at one point you'd be down to 2. I guarantee you would.
You name them.
Maybe.
Because I'm going to find this right here. I'll just give you an example.
All right.
Here's an
I'm gonna
example.
debunk
at
your
17.
argument right now. You ready?
Huh?
Go ahead.
This is Matt's come in with a little bit of an argumentative attitude today, Leon. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Don't you think?
He is.
All right, so
A little chippy.
Yeah.
Hey, I got news for you. There's a guy on the text line that says
show.
there's a guy on the text line that says Matt's doing the Lord's work, and you guys may not like it, but I'm here for it.
Yeah, it's
So
fine.
let's-
It's good.
You're doing the
Fine.
who's work?
The Lord's work.
Okay, so you've got guys.
Getting
Are
all
you ready for this?
theological with him again, you know?
Because we got to get Coach out of here. You ready for this?
Yeah.
These are graded 8.5 or 8.4. Okay, we're talking about a 1 decimal point difference. Quinyon Mitchell,
Take them.
Terry and Arnold,
Take them.
Dallas Turner,
Take them.
J.C. Latham, Latu Latu.
Take him.
Kool-Aid McKinstry.
That one, a little bit injury, but I'd take him.
Latu Latu. That's his name.
First off, if Quinyon Mitchell and Terry Arnold are there, who you taking?
Of those two?
Yeah.
I'm taking Mitchell. I'm going with the I'm going
You think
with
Mitchell's
the
the better
athlete.
player? He's the better player.
I think he's a better player.
Okay, so
yes.
why would you trade back then? Take him.
He's not. He's only saying if there's five
But if
different.
I know,
solutions.
but he's part of his five is what I'm saying. So if he's there, take him.
If you have someone that wants to grab something and you get more draft
No,
capital.
you got to stay out of this. This is me and him.
Listen.
If they're both there, the corner.
I put a stamp on C.J. Henderson.
Yeah.
So
I know
I'm
you
playing
did,
my.
but that's
I'm playing the odds. I
know
got
you
5
did.
guys.
All I'm saying is if you've got Quinyon Mitchell
I don't
and
think
Terry
it makes
Arnold,
any difference. I think whatever one I take has got to play.
my point is, I don't think there are 5 guys that are all the same. There are guys.
Right.
There are tiers of your guys.
But the scenario that we first threw out there is a cornerback, a defensive end, a defensive tackle, a offensive
I understand
lineman,
that too.
a
I
wide
get that.
receiver.
But there are also tiers there, Joe. There
I'm just saying,
definitely are.
the grades right
that's
there.
why I'm concerned with a guy like Thomas, to be honest with you, because he may be the guy that's available, and you may have him graded pretty good, but he's the 4th receiver. Well, it doesn't matter. It depends on how you have him graded. Can the guy help
Well, he's
you
also,
or not?
let's say his grade is 8.8 and Quinyon Mitchell's 8.8, but you need Quinyon Mitchell. You need a corner.
No, I'm taking the receiver. I'm taking, if you got them graded the same, and both of them you think are going to be number 1 picks, they're going to be starters, they got a chance to be all
taking the
pro
receiver.
and the whole thing. I'm taking
Because
the guy
it's
that's going to
offense.
score points.
Give me the points.
Okay. All right.
Give me the
That's
points.
it.
All right, Coach,
That's
on
fair.
that note, that is a mic drop. That's right. I think I think RJ just scored you for the win. You are out of here. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon.
Thank you.
Coach Campo is done, but we will have him back on Friday. We roll till 4 o'clock this afternoon. Joe C., Matty Hayes, Big Searcy, RJ, and, of course, Coach Campo hanging.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. Frank Franchi.
Questions? Does Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
Frank Franchi.
Don't mess with the bull, young man. You'll get the horns.
Afternoons on 1010XL.
Yeah, but he ought to have a real gig.
92.5 FM.
Next question.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free. No credit cards, no car loan, no personal loans. Hey, it's Prosser here, and Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make that happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value's way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards, get some money for a home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. So call now, 904-999-1508, 904-999-1508. That's loanpronto.com at 904-999-1508. NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. You've heard me praising the quick and easy process of Awaken 180 weight loss. Now I'm going to explain the benefits. It begins with fitting into clothes you haven't worn in years, or better yet, buying new clothes because the ones you have don't fit anymore. Or tightening your belt and realizing you're out of holes, or running on the treadmill or on the beach or lifting weights like you once did. Or, and here's the key, your health drastically changes. And who doesn't want that? The transformation from old you to new you is the finish line, and Awaken 180 Weight Loss gets you there faster, safer, and easier than any other weight loss program. You're healthy, you're happy, you've made a paradigm life shift. If I can do it, if Mike Dempsey can do it, and Hacker can do it, and more than 21,000 others can, you can too. Get your plan, get your personal coach, and get your results by doing what we all did. Choose the solution for weight loss. Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Call 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800, or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey there, all you sports dads rocking the best dad bod possible. We love seeing you eat tacos by the handful, and we love it when you bring your kids here too. For years, Lucy claimed that her favorite thing on the menu was sopapillas, the big scoop of ice cream. I know that's not a taco, but that never stopped her. I was shooting for Dad of the Year anyway, so I just let it happen. Taco Lou's a great place to bring the family. There's something for everyone, as long as it starts with a taco. And a margarita for mom is always a good thing. At Taco Lou in Jacksonville Beach.
Hey, sports fans, it's Hayes Carline from MyBookie. Oh, it is here. Masters Week, my favorite Tigers in the field. We've got the Live Golf guys playing in a major again. It is going to be a blast. If you haven't signed up for MyBookie, you need to sign up. This is going to be must-see TV, and you can bet long odds for big golf sweats and even bigger cash. Outright winners, first-round leaders, and live betting too. I'm telling you, if you haven't signed up yet for MyBookie, do it now for Masters Week. Could the weather in Augusta cause some chaos? Take advantage of that. Make some money. Even if the Masters has started, you can live bet with long odds through Sunday afternoon. Getting started is simple. Sign up today at MyBookie and use promo code 1010XL to secure a first deposit bonus up to 50%. It's simple. Just use promo code 1010XL to claim your 50% bonus, $50 minimum. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Exciting news from All Pro Roofing. Effective right now, you can get an instant roof quote. Just click the Instant Roof Quote tab on their website. Whether you're in need of roofing, exterior siding, or windows, All Pro Roofing is your local partner for quality craftsmanship. Click the Instant Roof tab and voila! Get an instant quote. It's that simple. Click on the Instant Roof Quote tab today at allproroofingllc.com.
License number CCC 1327056.
CBC 060138.
You know, they say April showers bring May flowers, but about night, they're bringing more than just blooms this April. Picking here, gang. It's time to spring into action and refresh your vision for the brighter days ahead. Don't let cloudy vision rain on your parade. From dry eyes and allergies causing irritation to cataracts blurring your vision, Bowden Eye can help protect what's important to you. If you're experiencing problems with your vision, call or visit BowdenEye.com to schedule your consultation. Bowden Eye and Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
Tired of running out of hot water? It's probably time for a new water heater. Call Duck Duck Rooter, the plumbing pros who specialize in water heater installation and service, including tankless water heaters, gas or electric. Call us today for service. DuckDuckRooter.com.
Homeowners and investors, the choice of title company is yours. When making that decision, choose the team of St. John's Title, LLC. As board-certified expert attorney-owned firm with decades of experience, we provide the utmost in precision and professionalism. Conveniently located offices and in-home remote closing options, we serve your needs. Whether refinancing or selling your property, our customer-first approach is tailor-made to your timeline. With a seasoned team of experts and 5-star testimonials from customers across the First Coast, call or visit St. John's Title today.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. 5-time Masters champion Tiger Woods spoke earlier today at Augusta and was asked how his body is feeling ahead of the 88th Masters.
The body's just, the things that just flare up. And again, training that we have to do at home, it changes from a day-to-day basis. Some days I just feel really good, and other days not so much.
Can Tiger Woods contend this week at the Masters?
If everything comes together, I think I can get one more.
Tiger will tee off on Thursday afternoon at 1:24 alongside Jason Day and Max Homa. It's 81 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool. On 1010XL.
3 o'clock hour is here. We're hanging out with you. We appreciate it. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're listening as you're up and down the road, in the office, streaming us, whatever it might be, we totally appreciate it. XL Primetime. Joe C., Matt Hayes, Big Searcy, and RJ. And thanks to Beaver Chevrolet and Beaver Toyota. They're cranking, okay? They got great rides, the SUVs, the pickup trucks, and I don't care what side you're on, the Chevy side, the Toyota side, the beautiful sedans, the luxury, the economy, whatever you're looking for, you're going to be able to get a good deal. They are there to wow you with great people behind it. So make sure you check out both Beaver Chevrolet and Beaver Toyota St. Augustine. So here are some coming in off the text line as far as the draft goes. And this is just so awesome because we've got our countdown. We're 16 days from the Jaguars selecting 17th. So we'll do another one of our 17th pick overall as we count them down to see who they're ultimately going to take. But this big argument about the cornerbacks, the receiver, the defensive end, defensive tackle, offensive lineman, one off the text line. Y'all is sleeping on Kamari Lassiter. We've got several that have said, can you mute Matt Hayes? The other one's saying Matt coming in hot. So there's plenty on both sides of that. I would jump for joy, says one, if we traded back, because trying to maybe get extra draft capital is appealing to some, but would jump for joy if we traded back unless Mitchell is there or one of the big three wide receivers. So if one of those wide receivers starts to fall, then you really do have to think about it. But I appreciate what Coach said. Brian Thomas, not just a one-trick pony, but maybe just a little bit more than that. High point guy, end zone guy, and lightning fast. He's going to run that 9 route. You've had those teammates before, Leon. Yeah. They only have so many things they could do, but they do those really, really well.
Well, I was a little concerned. Coach was saying that's all.
He was a one-trick pony.
Yeah, he was a one-trick pony. He only run the 9 route. He can he can go to the high point and get the ball in the end zone, which is a good thing. I mean, listen, I would like a dynamic wide receiver that can run the route tree, but I mean, if he brings along speed and he can catch the deep ball, I'm all good for that. I saw enough of him at LSU that he high-ponied the ball and outran the cornerbacks that I'm comfortable with.
Coach was hurting my Cajun heart.
He was.
Right,
he really was. He really was because.
All right, so here's one that says, I don't love the idea of Brian Thomas, but Zay, Kirk, and Ingram are all volume receivers. Need another player who can make explosive plays. And that is kind of what they're looking for. If they go with another wide receiver, they're looking for the explosive home run player. They really are.
They're looking for somebody that can stretch the defense.
Yeah.
I mean, because initially Calvin Ridley was supposed to be that guy.
Exactly.
He was that guy.
Yeah,
he was that guy that had the built-in speed that could stretch the defense and have the safety have to rotate over to open up the lanes. Huh?
What'd that do for him?
Well, at times, he got lost in the shuffle, and at times he didn't run the right routes. But overall, the speed was still there.
Yeah.
As much as we fired shots at him, as much as we fired shots at him, he still had 78 catches.
Yeah, he did.
Balls,
he was
over
productive.
1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns.
And by the way, let's not forget this.
He was a volume receiver is what he was.
No, he made plays down the field. He got PIs to move the chains down the field. He did a lot of good. Mm-hmm. And guess what? Whatever they had before, they still felt the need to go try and get a, quote, number one, and they still are looking to go get a number one. Okay?
Right, but what they had before won the division and won a playoff game.
I know.
They added him, and they didn't win the division.
Okay, so you're saying by adding him is the reason they didn't win the division?
No,
I'd say there were a lot of other things.
I'm saying that everybody's screaming about a wide receiver. The guys they had in 2022 were enough, and Evan Ingram.
Okay, so here's, again, we can never.
But, Matt, you can also remember that in 2022, Trevor played a lot better. The O-line played a lot better.
Yeah,
I mean, so those things have to be factored in.
You better believe it. And the play calling was better. There's so many things that were better. The defense was better.
Yeah, defense was better.
I need one of my financial.
Right, we can end all this nonsense about corner and wide receiver. You just take a guard.
Yeah. I need one of my financial guys to text me. Past results does not mean future performance, something like that. Text me that actual line, just so I have it. Because because they did it once.
This team draft.
Just because they did it once, there's no guarantee they're going to do it again. All right, so Zay brought up as far as one of those 22 receivers that did great that year. Zay Jones off the text line has only played a full season twice in 8 seasons. Never going over 1,000 yards. Okay for the Jags, but not otherworldly. Bridge player, so on and so forth. I don't think that's a bad opinion. I like Zay. I think he can make plays for you. But he has been MIA. He has been unhealthy. And that's the part that drives you crazy. You can't always count on that guy being 100% and ready to go, can you?
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate thing. And Zay's been in the league how many years now? 8?
Yeah.
He's been in the league. He's got to be close to 30, right?
He's got to be right around 8.
Right around 8, yeah. He's been in the league for a minute now.
Wow.
Yeah, he's getting a little long in the tooth. He can't stay healthy, especially if he's been in the season. He's only had 2 healthy seasons in his whole career.
Yeah, and again, that's off the text line. I'll pull it up just to make sure the total number of games played.
Yeah.
But
apparently, it was only a bone bruise last year, too, which is weird.
Bone bruise, yeah.
Okay. PCL. You're a hanger-oner. You are a hanger-oner.
You better believe that. You're just telling everybody it's a bone bruise for the entire season.
Matt's a cliffhanger. Matt's a cliffhanger. He's going to hold on to something.
I don't like the lying. I don't just tell the truth.
But that had nothing to do with him.
No, I'm not saying him at all.
Yeah, it had everything
I'm saying
to
the
do
franchise. Yes.
That's the coaching staff and whomever else decided to.
Of course,
put
there's
those
nothing to
injury
do with
reports
it.
out.
But do you think Trevor Lawrence is a guy that is more comfortable with a guy like Zay? Like you see Zay, Kirk, and the tight end, Evan Ingram. Like those guys he's comfortable with. Anytime he's like in a jam, it seems like those are the three guys in which he's going to go to. So it's almost like I'm seeing Matt's point to where.
Yes. How many times did Trevor walk off the field and he's looking at Calvin Ridley like, what are you doing, man?
Listen, he didn't do it that often. He did not do it that often.
First of all, this ain't no damn pajama party, okay? I'm talking about Trevor Lawrence being comfortable. Yeah. Listen, if this guy that we bring in at 17, who's young and athletic, Brian Thomas, right? If he's young and athletic, he can stress the defense and cause the coverage to be rolled his way to give the other guys opportunities, hell, then Zay's got to go. I mean, this is NFL. What it stands for? Not for long.
No, I don't disagree with that at all. I don't disagree with that at all. All I'm telling you is if you do that, you got to protect 16 too.
Absolutely,
right?
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
You got to give him the time to throw the ball. Absolutely. I mean,
right. You're relying on that offensive line.
No, I'm not.
Last game
I'm
of
not
season.
a big fan. I'm not a big fan at all.
The last game of the season, we saw those fight together. All right.
The two guards got me scared. I don't sleep well at night thinking about those two.
You go 8 seasons, 8 seasons for Zay, and he was with Buffalo a couple of years, then went from Buffalo to Oakland in his second season, and then kind of, he's bounced around a little bit. Well, actually stayed with the Raiders until he came to Jacksonville. But if you take a look at the games started, 9 games started with 15 games in 2019, 7 games starting in Oakland, and then in 2020, 2 games starting over the entire schedule. In 2021, 9 games starting. 2022, when he came here, 15 of 16 games, and then 7 last year. So
why do we always go after guys who are injured? I mean, why do we always go after guys that got injury issues?
I don't know. Morse, Darby, Savage. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean,
Armstead, I don't know.
What is this mass? This is a mass shooting. That's what we go after. Yeah. We'll go after guys that miss all kind of time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's concerning to me. Listen. Eric Armstead hopefully he's going to be a beast. All right, he's going to be a beast. All right, we couldn't block him last year in that game we played against the 49ers here at home. We could not block him.
Gosh,
but he's missed 12 games in 2 years. I mean, how reliable can he be? Mm-hmm. I mean, you're going to have to eventually. I mean, you got your lead betters and all. They're just guys. You're going to have to find a nice rotation of guys that can get some pass rush up the middle.
So you're talking Byron Murphy then at 17.
I'm talking about anybody that's healthy.
Big man,
somebody.
Either side. I'm one guard, but either side of the line of scrimmage.
Either side of the line of scrimmage.
Because listen, I love the idea of a Devon Hamilton coming back and being 100% and being a real contributor, but there's no guarantee.
No.
That's another injury guy.
I got news for you. There's no guarantee with Morse. There's no guarantee with Darby. There's no guarantee with Savage.
Saying, you just got to make better decisions with guys who've been injured.
Yeah.
Listen, when y'all went after me in free agency, you know how many games I missed in 4 years? 0.
Bro, how many times do we have to say this? You are unique.
I'm just saying, man.
We're not just saying that because you're like our boy. You're different.
You got to check your boxes when it comes to guys like that. If they've got history like that, it's got to be concerning. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, so look, most people on the text line agree as far as just where this team needs to go to make sure they need to stay as dynamic as they can in the offensive game. There's a reason why when they didn't get Calvin Ridley, or when they didn't get the deal done, they were still reaching for him or looking for others to come in. And the conversations were real as far as the reporting goes with Brandon Ayuk's camp, with San Francisco, looking around, knocking on doors, seeing what it's going to take to maybe get a T. Higgins or any of these other guys. They still need that dynamic wide receiver.
So
they have to.
Listen, I don't know why we even argue about this. At the end of the day, it's 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1, and they have to throw the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Just get 2 big guys with your first 2 picks and end it. 2 big dudes on the offensive line so you can actually move the pile.
Yeah,
we're third and a yard, and they're going 10 personnel. They're going 5 wide.
I know. I've seen it.
Yeah.
Just line up and run the ball.
Yeah. I love the simplification of it. By the way, on the other side, you just got to stop somebody. Just stop somebody.
I know.
Somebody.
But my point, Joe,
is
is the middle 3 in that line, they don't get a push.
Yeah, but neither side.
They're not aggressive. They're not active.
Yeah.
You need somebody that's going to be big and nasty and physical.
Yeah, I love the idea of it. I would go 2 bigs, one on either side of the football. I wouldn't go on both sides of the football. But I'm not ignoring how important the cornerback position is in this draft because
It's
of what,
everything. The
what is in the league,
quarterback position
what is in the
everything.
division. Yeah. There's no way that you can ignore those. All right, you guys keep hitting us, 641-1010. We'll get back to the NCAA tournament. Back to our question, our X poll. You can throw a team out there on X or on the text line. Best back-to-back championship teams you've seen in your sporting life. We got plenty of them. Georgia fan immediately came in and said, hello, back-to-back. You guys don't want to recognize what Georgia did, what UGA did up there? They definitely count. So that's
took you 40 years.
Well, I know it. I know, but they finally did it. And when they got it going, that's for sure. Meanwhile, the Miami.
After you now, bro.
I don't care.
Meanwhile, the Miami Dolphins fans are going back to the 70s for their last back-to-back. So you're right. There's a huge gap in time as far as who's claiming what and when they actually did it. But Georgia's back-to-back teams, they're pretty dang good.
They're special.
All right, so hit it 641-1010. And you can think of the best back-to-back championship team you've seen in whatever sport you're a fan of. Let us know on XL Primetime.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL. This is 1010XL.
You're going to love this.
More Jaguars, more Gators, and more Jacksonville. 1010XL. Jacksonville is listening.
People ask me all the time, Mia, why buy from Arlington Toyota? And when they do, here's what I tell them. Let's start with peace of mind. When you buy any new Toyota from Arlington, their lifetime warranty goes with you. That's unlimited time and miles. Plus, you get 30 days to love your pre-owned purchase or exchange it for one that you do. And you even get a complimentary car wash with your service visit. Now you know why you should buy from Arlington. 10939 Atlantic Boulevard and online at arlingtontoyota.com.
Are you looking for quality tires that won't break the bank? Well, Big Chief Tire has you covered. Frank Frangie here. Get $50 off a new set of tires, and for even greater savings, finance with the CFNA card to receive an additional $50 off your first purchase and no interest for 6 months. Schedule an appointment today at BigChiefTire.com or call 904-932-0950 and take advantage of these incredible deals. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting! Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
When my wrist pain was acting up and I needed help, I took Dan Higgins' advice and headed over to see the experts at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. This is Stuart Moore with the PGA Tour. I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Whenever you have a need, they took great care of me. They'll take great care of you.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy. The next time you need orthopedic care, you can rely on Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. With the weather starting to turn for the better, look ahead. Get that backyard ready for spring with a new screened-in enclosure. Maximize the space you have and make it great with Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. They truly are best in the business. If you have the space and the idea, give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Tell them Prosser sent you, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Now that's what I call high-quality H2O. If you want high-quality water throughout your home, call your local water boy. We install equipment to solve any water problem. WaterBoyJAX.com.
Cooking with Prisco.
These things are wonderful. You're going to love it. Have a rolling.
Oh. Catch CBS Sports senior NFL writer Pete Prisco every Friday afternoon on The Franchi Show. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles on 1010XL.
Your cooling system isn't working. Maybe somebody showed up with a portable electronic device. Then they discussed with you what your options are. Maybe they gave you an estimate that seems like an awful lot of money. What's the smart thing to do? When the situation merits a second opinion, get a Mike Merritt opinion. Yes, the Mike Merritt Comfort Team shows up with hand tools. We've never been able to fix an air conditioning problem with a tablet. Mike Merritt has been the trusted name for more than 30 years because there's never any hocus pocus. The Merritt team will walk you through the diagnostic steps up close and personal and show you exactly what you need. And the Mike Merritt price is likely to be far less because there's never an overtime charge, and the Merritt team doesn't work on commission. So remember, when it comes to the health of your cooling system, a second opinion can only help, and a Mike Merritt opinion can save you money. Florida license CACO 50384.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
This is Keith Catlin for Catlin Truck Accessories, and we are so blessed to be in business for over 100 years. Over 100 years of the best product and customer service means you can count on Catlin. From roll-and lock bed covers to Lear toppers to cam locker toolboxes, Catlin Truck Accessories has you covered when it comes to your truck or van. We do those too. Got a fleet of vehicles? We can outfit them all.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
One name, one location, 100 years. You can count on Catlin.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprosky at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaproskys are a husband-wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprosky are the answer. Craig.Kaprosky at Goosehead.com.
It doesn't get any better than live country music. Enjoy Daryl Ray at Players Grill Miramar this Friday at 7 p.m. with discount cocktails while the local star rocks out. Players Grill Miramar, where the neighborhood meets.
This is my bar.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
There's a war going on outside.
This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
I don't know if it's true, but I'm not prepared to argue. I might have to write that down. Texter says Georgia would have won back to back if they had not been screwed by the committee. I'm not going to argue.
Past year? This past year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah, just don't lose to Alabama. You're good.
Yeah, it's
right. If you don't lose to Alabama, you get a chance to win it all. So.
But Alabama had an L. Georgia
I don't
had an
disagree.
L.
They were one of the four best teams. There's no doubt.
No, I had them in my. Even with the loss, I still have them in my top four.
I'd have left Texas out.
With number one, even with the loss.
Yeah,
I'd have left Texas out. You don't go from number 1
to 6. Not a 3-point loss.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't happen.
No way, no how. So that I agree with 100% with the Bulldogs. We've got plenty of other ones that have come in. New York Islanders with their dynasty. There's so many great ones when you start thinking of. We had asked who are the best back-to-back teams, and you can't help but start to think of Super Bowl winning teams that have won 3 of 4 years, like the Cowboys, the Patriots. Heck, the Patriots.
Well,
Patriots may not have even had great teams, Leon.
Yeah.
But they still won 3 of 4.
I mean, the reason why I put teams like the Cowboys in, personal experience, and the Broncos, personal experience. I mean, the Broncos that second year, after '96 when we upset them and we came back to Mile High Stadium and played them, and they ran like 390 yards. It was just, you know what? It was almost criminal what they did to us in that game. When we came to, we had no idea what they had. They had set us up to destroy us that game. And then they won that Super Bowl, and then they won it back-to-back. So the Broncos, I had personal experience with the Broncos and the Cowboys. That's why, I had picked.
You know why they won those back-to-backs? You know what was the foundation of that back-to-back?
Us beating them.
No.
It was.
Their offensive line.
It was their offensive line. You're absolutely right, because in '96 when
everything changed when Terrell Davis they could start to run.
But they had Terrell Davis when we beat them in '96. The only reason why they got upset because they didn't run the ball enough against us, and they started to throw the ball.
That O-line
just like the
they
Ravens,
had,
just like the Ravens
You know
did
what they-
against the Chiefs last year.
right. That O-line they had for like a span of like 4 or 5 years.
Denver,
was,
you talking?
God,
You know what they did though? They cut a lot of people.
They were criminal the way they cut people.
Yeah, they
right?
cut
They
a
were.
lot of people.
A lot of the stuff that they did is outlawed now by the NFL.
It wasn't then.
It wasn't.
I mean, there were some dirty savages.
It
on
was.
that.
They were
I'm
savages.
not disagreeing with you. I'm saying it was in
All
the
right.
rules then.
All right, so off the text line, Jags are going to a 4-3. First 3 picks should be along that line of scrimmage, defensively or cornerback. So D-line, edge, cornerback. And then there are plenty of others that are in the offensive line camp. The line was 31st in 22, 30th in 23. Right to Matt's point. Fix the line. Another one. Our problem is offense. On offense, we can't gain 6 inches when we need to, and everybody would like to have that advantage. So
I asked Leon this real quick.
Yeah.
Leon, as a player, if it's 3rd and half a foot, if it's 3rd and a yard, and you see 10 personnel coming in, like, does that like affect your manhood a little bit?
You cringe at that. You absolutely cringe at that because it's an indictment on your toughness as an offensive line. Where if it's 3rd and 1 or 4th and short, and you're lining up in 10 personnel, and you don't have your grouping in I can't remember what we used to call a heavy set. A heavy set.
Yeah.
A heavy set. You know, we a heavy set.
Heavy package.
Goal line, basically.
Basically.
Yeah.
We're going to get this yard. I mean, it's
one way or the other,
this yard is going to be got.
Right.
All right, 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. If you're spreading them out and trying to pass on 4th and 3rd and 1, that's an indictment on the offensive line. Every offensive lineman should be offended by that. Me and Bo used to come on the sideline where we're being in situations like that, and we're passing the ball. We're coming on the sideline. Hey man, run the damn ball? Run the damn ball.
How
Quit
about all
passing.
5 of you guys
Because
like that?
Yeah,
All
absolutely.
you Tilsky and
because
Big
sometimes
Ben Coleman, you all were like
because
that, right?
sometimes coordinators can get cute. You know, they can get cute.
Oh, I think we saw some cuteness in this playbook around the goal line. I definitely think we saw that.
Yeah.
And look, Doug, we played one of his sound bites from the owners' meetings earlier. We can go back and find the other one where he basically says, how could we be running the football? This is the head coach posing the question to the media, saying, how could we – he knows they were not good enough running the football. And I do believe he plans to change that. I believe that's why he's going to be the primary play caller. But you still have to have the talented bigs up front to do that.
Absolutely. And you've got to have the preparedness during the week to effectively be physical enough to run the ball on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're constantly running 7-on-7 in team period, you don't have anything set up where these guys can learn to have to push and tug and push on each other. Because we had inside run, we had middle drill, we had goal line drills, we had all that kind of stuff to equate the toughness that's going to be that you need to get a yard or get 2 yards. Just doesn't happen. There's a reason why if you look at interior of our offensive line, when you see them on short yardage, half of them are standing straight up.
Oh,
I don't see no flatbacks. I don't see any flatbacks. And if you stand straight up, you're going to get blown back.
But if you think about it, the only body on that middle 3 that's a flatback is like Sheriff.
He is.
Other than that,
true.
You and I were talking in the break. Ezra Cleveland has a tackle body, does he not?
Dog. He's elongated.
Okay, but he's played guard his entire NFL career.
He has with the Vikings. He did play guard.
Yeah.
He absolutely did.
And he wants to play tackle, but that doesn't mean he has played tackle.
Can he play guard well?
Right, but can he push a pile? That's kind of my thing.
Yeah, and look, I'm not endorsing. I'm just saying these are the decisions they have made. They paid way too much for Brandon Sheriff. I mean, a lot of money, which he's adjusted that contract twice now.
We have a tendency to do that when it comes to guard. Who was the other guy?
Andrew Norwell.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Made him the highest paid guard.
Whirly Bird. Yeah, that part.
Yeah, and so there's no question that being more physical at the line of scrimmage. And you guys know, from December 1 on, what did I tell you guys? And I'm pretty sure we all shared the same opinion. Physically beaten up. You can't lose the games that they lost and get physically beaten up, which is what they did. That
was the most alarming thing about it, Joe. It's not that they just lost games, that they lost the physical battles. Yeah. I mean, they lost the physical battles up front on both sides of the ball. They couldn't stop the run. They couldn't run the ball. I mean, in December, if you can't stop the run and run the ball, you're out of there. Right. You're out of the picture.
And that's why I do like sparring with Matt, because I believe bigs are hugely important, but both sides of the ball. Yeah. Both sides of the ball failed. when it came to
Even
gaining yard and stopping them from gaining yard.
Yeah, of course. I agree with that.
Both of them were so bad.
So why does, in your guys' opinion, we talk about the offensive line ad nauseum and saying that they may need to go out and use an early pick on an offensive lineman. Why does a guy like Doug, it almost feels like he's saying, listen, we were injured the last half of the year. The offensive line was, we didn't get a lot of time to play together. Like, why do you think he continues to defend the 5 guys that he wanted to play?
Because they're still on the roster.
Yeah, that's usually what it is. Is that you got to –
yeah, you've got to massage him right now because at some particular point you're saying to yourself, I'm going to need these guys. He can't go all in and blast them even though they were terrible.
I'm not saying blast them necessarily, but just say, like, you know what? I admit it. We do need a little bit of help, but these are going to be our 5 guys, like, right now, but we're going to get help at the offensive line position.
Are you trying to tell me that he placates them, babies them?
Well, I think
what you're trying to say, sir?
I'm saying he burps them and powders their bottom.
And diapers them. Listen, I think what he said, though, think about what happened. Think about what happened. As soon as he said that, okay, he said that at the Combine, is that we like the guys we have, yada, yada, yada. Within days, when the free agency period opened up, they signed Mitch Morse. That was their first transaction. So you could say one thing. I always call it lying season. You can say one thing and then do another. But at that point, he's like, I'm not throwing anybody under the bus. And the only way I'm going to tell you that you're being thrown under the bus is Mitch Morse is now signed to replace Lee Fortner. That's basically
so you're
what
telling me I still have hope for guard then, is what you're saying.
Maybe so. I still think that absolutely is. Just one of those guards is still a possibility. Not guard, but one of them is. If you give me, and look, by the way, we've gone with our mocks, and we'll do another one as we count it down on Thursday. I still think there's some big gettable linemen in the second and third round that can win jobs on this offensive line. They don't all need to come in the first round. They don't. And the tackle position, you got to make your decision. As much as we're bemoaning the interior 3, which was the biggest of problems, there's just a bunch of tackles that are sitting out there high in the draft. We just described Ezra Cleveland as a kind of a taller, angular, maybe a tackle type body. You're going to just take Fashanu and immediately say you can plug him inside, Fawanga, plug him inside? I don't see how we can do that. Can we?
But they're bigger dudes, though.
Yeah, but they've basically played tackle their entire college careers. That's why they're as heralded as they are, because they're going to be drafted high to play one of the most important
positions. Fawaga's 6'5", 333. He's played some guard at Oregon State.
Maybe. I don't know. But I'm just saying that, hell, look at what Walker Little is. He's 6'7", 330-some pounds. These are big human beings now. And they can't all just go inside.
Jackson Powers Johnson can play guard.
Well, yeah, that
Absolutely
is an interior
lineman.
lineman. He is 100%.
But he's going in the first round. Graham Barton's going in the first round. I'm telling you right now, I bet Cooper Beebe goes in the first round. I bet he's like pick 31, 32, somewhere around there.
I wish I knew when you get to the bottom of the draft what most GMs are thinking. Is that the, quote, best player available at the end?
Right.
Or is that the biggest need? Because those are winners that are drafting at the bottom of the first round.
Chiefs are going to get him. That's what's going to
happen.
happen.
They might. Hey,
they're going to get him. Tui's going to go. They're going to get him, slide him right in there.
Yeah.
And then at the end of this coming season, we're going to go, look at Cooper Beebe just destroying people.
But they did it with Creed.
Line.
They did it with Creed in the second round. They didn't need even to do it in the first round.
Yeah.
They went and got Creed in the second round. Creed Humphrey and has been all world since then. All right, we'll keep it rolling, counting it down till we hand it off to the Frangie Show. Thanks for hanging out with us, Joe C., Matt Hayes, Big Searcy, 2 to 4 with XL Primetime, along with RJ.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
And now, the starting lineup.
The Drill Mornings. Jaguars today, 10 to noon. Helmets and heels. Noon to 2. XL Primetime, 2 to 4. The Frangie Show, 4 to 6. Into the night with Rick Ballou and Hacker After Dark. Evenings on 1010XL.
Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars. Make them your AC partner with honest cost estimates before they start the work with no hidden fees. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC.
At Honda, we appreciate all the comparisons to other vehicles. And no matter how many times they compare their vehicles to a Honda, only a Honda is a Honda. Remember, value, quality, safety, there is no substitute. Visit your local Honda dealer now and experience the difference.
Hey there, all you sports dads rocking the best dad bod possible. We love seeing you eat tacos by the handful, and we love it when you bring your kids here too. For years, Lucy claimed that her favorite thing on the menu was sopapillas, with big scoop ice cream. I know that's not a taco, but that never stopped her. I was shooting for Dad of the Year anyway, so I just let it happen. Taco-Lu's a great place to bring the family. There's something for everyone, as long as it starts with a taco. And a margarita for Mom is always a good thing. At Taco-Lu in Jacksonville Beach.
Mia here. Looking to spruce up your home or business for the spring? Window Gang's exterior cleaning services will remove stubborn stains, restore windows to a clear shine, and ensure your gutters flow freely. Call 262-7300 for a free estimate.
If your ride is making strange noises, don't wait and make it worse. Come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road. My expert technicians can diagnose the problem and likely fix it fast. Experience the difference at Action Transmission on Merrill Road.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On April 9, 1950, during the 14th U.S. Masters Tournament, Jimmy DeMera becomes the first three-time Masters champion, finishing 2 strokes ahead of Jim Ferrier.
If you are having problems related to selling your home, here's your solution. You just have not discovered ChadandSandy.com. That's Chad, A-N-D, Sandy.com. Listen, maybe the problem is you need more space for your office or growing family, or perhaps you're worried about settling for less money with a lowball instant offer. We've got one guarantee here that always rings true. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. It's as simple as that. So you need to call 904-414-6200 or go to ChadandSandy.com like Jonathan in Mount Pleasant did. The only thing standing between me and my dream of traveling in my RV was the sale of my Mount Pleasant home. I heard Chad and Sandy on the radio and called. Crazy results. In just 3 days, I received multiple offers for full asking price. So you don't have the problems you think you do. You have solutions and promises with Chad and Sandy. Go to ChadandSandy.com or call 904-414-6200 at ChadandSandy.com.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, presented by FIS, is home this week at 1-1 Financial Ballpark. Tonight is 70s night, followed by a new day game on ViStar Good is Everywhere Wednesday. The weekend starts with Coors Light Thirsty Thursday. Enjoy fireworks Friday and Saturday. Baseball all weekend with tickets starting at just $5. Log on to jackshrimp.com for tickets. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball. Affordable, family fun.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here for Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Look, last week I recognized I had made a difference. No, it wasn't saving a puppy from a well or pulling an old lady out of a burning building. Remarkable as those would have been, this one was pretty cool as well. I saw a hacker and he was down 45 pounds thanks to Awaken 180, and it was awesome. Well, why was it awesome? Well, he thanked me for introducing him to Awaken 180. So I'm not only able to watch him have that same transformation that I had, but I know I had a bit part in helping someone make a 180 with their life, and it inspired me to continue sharing mine. From Matt Hayes to Hacker and hundreds of listeners, every story is uniquely inspiring. If you have questions, feel free to ask me about Awaken 180. I'm happy to answer all of them, and just maybe you will be the next Awaken 180 success story. Call Awaken 180 today at 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800, or schedule your consultation online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Roland Reich Plumbing, there when you need them. Big or small plumbing problem, call Roland Reich Plumbing anytime at 260-7059. 260-7059, where quality and experience count.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free. No credit cards, no car loan, no personal loan. Hey, it's Prosser here, and Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make that happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value's way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards, get some money for a home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. So call now, 904-999-1508, 904-999-1508. That's loanpronto.com at 904-999-1508. NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I love this because Joe just loves the way my mind works.
I'm watching ping pong game inside Matt's brain. It's everywhere.
So Matt Baker's a fantastic reporter for the St. Pete Times.
Yes.
He is, I think it's the Tampa Bay Times now. Sorry about that.
Tampa Bay, yeah.
He's in Leon County right now for the FSU versus ACC case. And at one point during the discussions, which are getting heated,
I don't doubt it.
very heated. Like FSU has already said, look, the ACC, we're out $600 to $700 million if we leave the ACC without the grant rights being canceled. Yeah. So they've already admitted that.
So they're saying that's their potential loss.
That's their potential loss, okay. $600 to $700 million. Now, the judge in the case, okay, this is what Matt Baker has him quoted as saying during the hearing. Quote, Maryland's in the Big Ten now?
So you're telling me the judge – all right,
I'm telling you it's getting interesting is what I'm saying.
Does a judge have to be fully aware of what the ACC looks like and what the Big Ten
I mean, you got to have some kind of idea. I mean, I guess you don't.
Yeah.
It's really he's just ruling on whether the case stays in Florida. And I don't – and Florida State made a great point. It's the university is Florida State University.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Their players and their coaches are the ones that are earning the money.
Mm-hmm.
They're earning the money for the league. They're earning it. Their home games are in the state of Florida.
Mm-hmm.
This thing should be heard in the state of Florida. What's going to happen is it's going to be heard in both states.
Yeah.
And again, the ACC is going to win in North Carolina, and Florida State's going to win in Florida, and it's going to come down to how much money is Florida State willing to pay to get out of that deal.
Yeah, it's such a BS thing that we have to keep track of. But here's another example. A judge asked if FSU could negotiate a purchase of their media rights after paying the exit fee, which Matt just said is around $750 million. The ACC lawyer, quote, or we would sell the media rights to somebody else and they would receive portions of that just the same way we do now. And so they're just going to keep going back and forth because the ACC wants to control that brokering.
They're trying to make it as difficult as possible for Florida State to get out.
Yeah, and so Tom Lang reporting this one says, never heard an ACC rep say this before. Well, you're still trying to figure out.
It's almost like they're subcontracting their media rights, which is, you can't do that.
Yeah, well, I think
no conferences are going to take Florida State if they're getting their rights subcontracted to the ACC, which means they're going to owe ACC money. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, you wouldn't think so. It's like subletting an apartment. You want to get out of it, you get somebody else to come in there and pay for it. You get to go move somewhere else. You may have to give something up.
The unfortunate thing is Florida State is going to take the bullets for everyone else. And then once they do, and once they find a way out, Clemson and North Carolina will argue it's not the same league anymore. We're out. And there's nothing the ACC can do at that point. They're done.
And then, you're just really going to have to.
Because it's not the same league once Florida State leaves.
No.
It's not even close.
No. All right, a couple lineman suggestions that have been put up on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. We've been talking draft. We're going to keep talking draft. RJ, fire up the 17th pick overall. Let me know when you got it because we are counting them down. But just a couple off the text line real quick. Fuanga is nasty. He'd be a great pick. The big nasty from Oregon State is there at 17. That would be my pick. And look, we're talking about JPJ from Oregon, the big kid from Oregon State, the kid from Penn State. There's a handful of offensive linemen that could be there. But the biggest of the interior guys is Jackson Powers Johnson. And the other guy you're trying to figure out, does he translate to an interior lineman at the next level? That's the part that's not easy. So speaking of 17, the 17th pick overall, will the Jaguars go lineman? Well, let's go back to 2011 as we count down the 17th pick in the NFL draft. Hit it, RJ.
With the 17th pick in the 2011 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select Nate Solder, offensive tackle, Colorado.
Third and one play action. Now it's time for Nate Solder, tackle eligible.
It's just, this is brilliant stuff this man does. He thinks of this stuff and he puts it in at perfect time.
Everybody run that play. Nobody run it past the 10. Normally it's on the 1. They knew Solder could get in from there.
Now that dude, Leon, when they asked you whether you were going to be a guard or not because you were 6'3.5" and you took personal offense to it, I'm glad you did. They didn't ask Nate Solder if he was going to be a guard or not. He was 6'9", 317 pounds when he came into the league.
That's a lot of man.
How many years he played in the league? 12, 13?
12, 13 years, yeah, absolutely.
And that's the type of guy.
At left tackle, and that was it, man.
That's it.
Well, that's the type of tackle you're looking, or type of player you're looking for, a big redwood that you can plug in, that you know is going to be that guy.
Yeah, plug and play.
Yeah,
turn your back.
Yeah, and he was that from 2011 all the way to 2021. Played his entire career in the Northeast from New England to New York, and was just a damn good player.
Yeah, he was, absolutely. And listen, I mean, he was protecting some very valuable merchandise, which happened to be Tom Brady. That's what this organization's got to get to. I mean, Trevor's a long. He's not even in the same stratosphere as Tom Brady. But I'm saying, if you want to get to where Tom Brady's been, you got to protect him. You got to take care of him.
It's so funny.
Keep him off the ground.
Exactly.
Man.
Keep him healthy.
Like right now, I know you can picture this. I know our XL peers out there can picture this. Tom Brady under center, dropping back 7 steps. You can see him just hopping, right?
Yeah.
And he's got all the time in the world to make that throw.
Exactly.
If Troy Fatano,
Trevor didn't have that,
or Talise Fuaga are there at 17, you got to take them and just stick him at left guard and say that's it.
Well,
and if somebody asks, "Why'd you take a guy an offensive tackle?" or because he's our starting guard, that's why. That's it. Day one, not even a question. Starting left guard.
Well, the other part of it is the beautiful thing is that if you take him and you have him, then you see how things play out. And if Cam Robinson becomes a commodity because another team's got an injury to deal with, he doesn't necessarily have to be starting left guard.
Well, then you got Walker Little's your left tackle.
Yeah,
then.
I'm just saying.
I think they're all right.
You still have options, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, no question.
No question. There's no way we're going to know Walker Little can step in and be that guy either.
I don't know. He's kind of proven it every time he's been at left tackle. He's kind of proven he can play left tackle.
He's played well, but it's
in 22, he was well down the stretch, especially.
Well, someone on
he played well the first 4 games last year.
Yeah, he played okay. Yeah,
he played okay.
Someone on the YouTube chat line is basically saying that Little really hasn't gotten a fair shake because he's been bounced around so much on the line.
It's true. He really has. The thing is that he was brought in.
Hey, guess what? That's the NFL.
It is. It is.
What's
but they
all
looked
this
at him. They like
all this baby. Oh,
it's not baby. It's
He
reality,
played
bro.
here. He played there. Listen, wherever they play, you play it well.
Yeah.
And then they don't have to bounce you around. If you're a stickler at that position, they're not moving you because they know how good you are right
Not everybody can walk into a camp and say, I'm not playing guard like you, all right?
Yeah, no, not everybody has the fortitude.
All right.
Yeah, it is funny because you viewed him. It's kind of like what they are maybe doing with Anton Harrison as well. They drafted a left tackle. They put him in that right tackle spot. Now with Anton Harrison, in year 1, he started all 17 games. In year 1 for Walker, they just kept looking at him. Hey, play a little here, play a little there. And then because of suspensions, injuries, whatever. And the YouTuber is right. He has been bounced all over the place. He was forced into that left guard spot. I never would have put him there. He was forced in there. He gets hurt and gets Trevor hurt too because he gets backed up by that bull rush. And so if they were to move Cam, you're probably feeling better than 50% that Walker Little can hold down that job. Better than 50%?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Much higher.
Okay, much higher.
He'll play.
Higher?
He'll play. He absolutely will play. And if we take the tackle guard and move him inside, Walker Little's only got 1-year deal on. I mean, he's in the last year of his contract, right?
This is it. Yeah.
This is it. I mean, if you want to, then you can move the rookie out to left tackle if you don't want to pay him.
Or Walker Little plays left tackle and plays really well, and you just re-sign him.
You just love Walker Little, don't you?
No, I'm saying he's there. All I'm saying is he's there.
Yeah, he does. If he's a staple at left tackle, then you pay him and keep him there. And then the guy you drafted at left guard, y'all just build from there.
Well, one way or the other, you're paying for a left tackle. Either it's going to be Cam or him, or you just you draft a rookie this year, and he eventually becomes your left tackle.
You're already paying Cam. Let's not forget that.
Right.
You're already paying that bad boy. And the thing is that right now they have 3 starting tackles, 3 starter quality tackles. So if you are going to go line, you're either going to have to say, hey, yeah, Cam's a starter, Walker's a starter, but they're not the level that we want to have our left tackle at. And then they reach for that guy. Or they do what Matt's been saying the whole time, interior. Forget about that tackle position, interior. So whoever they see fall into that 17th spot, he better be able to, immediately ready to go in and compete for one of those interior.
Oh,
line
yeah,
spots.
absolutely. Yeah. You got to plug. You got to play.
And you still think there might be a little gamesmanship going on?
Oh, 100% I do.
You're
Because
not just doing that just to keep me excited, are you?
No. I'm giving you hope. I'm giving you hope
I'd
because
be really upset if that was the case.
Well, you figure they signed a guy to replace the center position, a little bit long in tooth, so there's no reason you shouldn't think about the future if you go and get a Mitch Morse, who has been around a while. To give you an idea how long Mitch Morse has been around, he was in KC when Dougie was in KC. Okay, that's how far back we're going. And so he's been a very, very good player, but that's the type of guy that you're thinking about, that you want to make sure that if you do renew the position, a JPJ, then you wouldn't mind doing that with that 17th pick overall. But you're not drafting a starter unless he comes in and competes at the guard position, right?
All right, I'm just going to
Unless
tell
he
you.
comes
I'm
in
just
and
going to
competes
tell you
at the
this:
guard.
if they don't draft offensive linemen in this draft, I'm going to have to say that they don't really value that spot.
Mhm.
They don't really value the offensive line as much as we think they should.
Yeah, well, here's another thing I got to remind everybody. The NFL draft does not consist of just Thursday night. There's a Friday night.
No, I know that.
And there's
no,
a
I
Saturday.
said in the draft. I said in the draft.
Oh, I know. I'm reminding everybody else out there. I know that in the draft they absolutely
Is
have
it fair
to
to say that, Leon? Like if they don't, within the first couple rounds, if they don't pick an offensive lineman, they don't value that offensive line.
Okay, so now you've gone first couple of rounds.
Yeah, first three.
Okay, all right.
First three
Yeah,
rounds.
within those first 3 picks, they should be taking offensive linemen somewhere. I preferably in the first 2 picks, either at 17 or 48. I want to see an interior offensive lineman or a D lineman. I would prefer offensive line.
Is it possible that Doug thinks he can formationalize people
Yeah, all
and
right.
formation them to death, basically?
Yeah.
Is that
Maybe.
possible?
He had a good line up in Philly. He had
did.
a good line.
He
He
did.
knows it.
Absolutely.
All right, we got to leave. We got to go on this, though. Just so you know, Mitch Moore started his career in 2015 in Kansas City. Okay, so here he is, 2024, a decade later. Still productive, but
we're getting into this tomorrow, by the way.
yeah,
this
he may
whole
not be
formational
the
thing.
future. All right, we are out. Thanks to Beaver Chevy, Beaver Toyota. We had a great time. Don't forget Beaver Toyota, StAugustine.com, BeaverChevrolet.com. You will love them. We appreciate you loving on us for hanging out and listening to XL Primetime. Joe C., Matty Hayes, Big Searcy, and RJ. Frangie Show coming up.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers.
Let's get this crowd going. Now, come on, get him up, get him up, get him up. Come on, come on, come on.
Crowd on its feet.
This is what we live for right here.
1010XL.
This is what you live for. Let's go.
Frank Frangie here for South State Bank. Look, I depend on South State for so many things: personal accounts, small business banking, and banking for our nonprofit. South State Bank can help you reach all your financial goals too, whether you're just starting out or focused on financial planning. South State offers convenience with their online and mobile banking. You should check out South State Bank, as they were recently recognized by Forbes as one of America's best banks. That's South State, banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
After a storm passes, the assessment of the aftermath begins. Sometimes damage to the roof is obvious, like leaks or missing shingles, broken